Dark Magician of Team Sorcerers here, and welcome back to What If Wednesday. And this one is another suggestion. This one is from fellow teammate Express Gaming, and he wants to know what would happen if Dark Magician, my favourite card, an Ace Monster, was limited. Now, as he was voicing this suggestion to me, I thought he was going to ask what if Dark Magician would ban. Because in the past there have been jokes about Dark Magician getting banned, which I probably will cover in a future episode, but no. He wants to know what would happen if Dark Magician was limited. Kind of like how he's a limited card in Rush Duels because he's a legend card. Well, the only way this would happen, obviously, is if Dark Magician became meta, which would more likely be the case at some point after the support from the Dark Illusion. Now, if that happened, I would have some very mixed feelings about this. Now, well, I wouldn't necessarily mind, because it would bring back that feeling from back in the day where I used to only play one, and I feel like Yugi, just rocking one Dark Magician. But on the other hand, it would make the support kind of difficult to use in a way. I'd have to run more cards whose name is treated as Dark Magician. I mean, Magician's navigation would be kind of awkward to use, considering that only special summons Dark Magician from the hand. And if that happened, then Dark Magician players would only play one, unless they found a way to make use of illusion magic and just keep recycling Dark Magician. Yeah, that would be the most effective way to do it. A Dark Magician Girl wouldn't necessarily be very strong, only going up to 2-3 if my one and only copy is in the grave. The only way you'd be able to power her up, if that was your goal, was to just run multiple copies of Dark Magician the Dragon Knight and Magician of Chaos. Or, I guess, run more copies of Magician of Chaos if you want to do that, but I wouldn't recommend it. The other thing is, this would be even more infuriating if, like, the one and only copy of Dark Magician got banished. Because then A, that would really piss me off, and B, the whole deck just dies. It becomes basically unplayable. You'd have to rely more on Magician of Dark Illusion, I guess. Or find another way to get Dark Magician the Dragon Knight out, although it wouldn't be easy. I mean, if anything, that would just force Dark Magician players to run cards that get it back from the banished zone, like Escape from the Dark Dimension, Burial from a Different Dimension, Pot of Acquisitiveness. Although it might be a bit awkward if he's banished face down, because like I said before, face down banished cards are harder to get back. Like, there's hardly anything in the game that recovers face down banished cards. I mean, the only ones I can think of off the top of my head are Necroface, Psyframe, Lord Omega, I think Lord is in the name, and Elemental Hero Electrum. That's literally it. Yeah, Dark Magician decks would become a lot more difficult to run with the modern support. In fact, there wouldn't be much point playing it that way. If that happened, I'd just end up going back to the way I played it in, Duel Monsters and GX era, basically as a somewhat generic spellcaster deck running one Dark Magician. But it would be just hard to say whether or not it would be able to keep up with anything. If anything, that would just make me quit tournaments permanently, and for good, a lot earlier than I actually did. It would just be too difficult to play and just too easy to beat, and that's basically what would happen if Dark Magician ever got limited. But luckily we don't have to worry about that, because, well, it's just never gonna happen. There's just no reason to limit any normal monsters in the game. Well, except of course for the Exodia limbs, but yeah, they're limited for a good reason. Now, I know I say a lot of the time that when it comes to people saying what will get hit or what won't get hit with absolute certainty, you don't know that, you can't predict the future, and no one can say for sure what will get hit and what won't. But normal monsters are just exempt from what's been said, for the reasons I just went over. So yeah, in this case, Dark Magician is never going to be limited, and it sure as hell will never be banned. Why would it? But yeah, again, that's a story for another time. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you so much, Express Gaming, for the suggestion, and stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.